So we just had a major breakout for Bitcoin. We have XRP doing a very interesting breakout itself. We have the market right now not getting excited. And we have some very interesting XRP news that I think you guys are going to want to be aware of if you are holding XRP. This video is based solely on my opinion and what I'm personally doing in this market. I want to also let you know that some of the links below are affiliate links, meaning I may earn a commission, but this will be at no extra cost to you. And please remember, guys, under no circumstances will I ever contact you and ask you for investments. You can confirm all of my real social media handles in the description. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy sitting in his room. You can see Bitcoin hits its record-breaking weekly close, the highest in its history. So anyone who's been holding crypto for a while now should be celebrating. I know right now XRP hasn't broken out yet and people might be a little bit frustrated. When's it going to break out? I've been waiting for so long. I understand, but patience is key in this game. Now, if we look at XRP's price action, I think that there's somewhat of a wedge pattern here. This would be a bullish wedge in my idea of what I'm looking at. Plus, I believe we've had a breakout. So right now is very important that we really stay above somewhere around $2.90. Now, technical analysis is not an exact science. I don't base my trades just off technicals. I base it off technicals, sentiment, and macro, right? And right now, we're seeing an interesting move for XRP, but I think that's mostly given to the fact that Bitcoin is now 124,000. So yesterday, we reached a new high of 125,700. We came down this morning to about 123. Maybe we did pull back to about 122. But guys, what's important here and what's very interesting is we haven't had a big rejection. I think a lot of people were expecting a bigger rejection for Bitcoin here, and this is actually showing some pretty relative strength. And this is looking good, but America is yet to really wake up yet. England, as we speak, is just waking up, so we'll see how they react. Is there going to be a massive amount of selling and profit taking? Is America going to do the same thing? And what is the overall stock market going to do today as it opens for the first time since Bitcoin hit a new all-time high? All of that is very important data to take into consideration if you are considering a trade. Right now, we can see my trade right here, just under 4,000 XRP of profit. I'm very happy with this because I stayed unemotional in these market drawdowns. And in fact, I added to my trades. For some reason, you can't see them on the chart right now, but I added approximately here and I added approximately here, giving me an average buy of this green line right here. So I have a lot of room here for the price to be very volatile. Now, I am expecting a lot of volatility in this market because if we flip the exchange liquidation map to XRP, you can see there are a lot of longs. But if we look at Bitcoin, we are predominantly long. Most of the market is long. And as you know, I'm a contrarian trader and investor, and this gives me the heebie-jeebies. I get a little bit worried when I see this. However, when we look directly at XRP, you can actually see the shorts right now still outweigh the longs. The longs have 584 million, and the shorts have 630. Now, as I always like to say, this is not exact science, but what this shows me is the majority are betting the price of XRP goes down, which actually makes me a little bit bullish because I know from the data, from my research, that most people lose money in this market. So if most people are thinking one way, I do the opposite. Hence why I have this trade open. Hence why I still have the longer term swing trade open right here. And why I have the multiple new trades that I've opened here on this channel. Look at this one, XRP, 26% gain. By the way, guys, if you want to trade, WEEX is still offering the 20% deposit reward, which you can grab by using the affiliate link in the description. But as well as this, what do we have going on? Well, the Robinhood CEO, Vlad, says that there's time to move beyond Bitcoin. Let's hear what he had to say.
And get all, I believe it will make it easier to invest in American companies if you're outside the world. It will also bring the markets into 24/7 and fully on-chain and get all the benefits that crypto technology levies on these traditional assets. So I think it's time to move beyond Bitcoin and meme coins into real-world assets that exhibit fundamental utility.
So this is very interesting. Moving on from Bitcoin, moving on from meme coins, and on to real world utility tokens. Now, he didn't specifically say XRP, but real world utility tokens based in America, because there's a lot of new love for crypto in America given the presidency. It does point fingers at XRP. Not only XRP, but XRP is one of the ones that could benefit the most from this, in my opinion. Hence why I'm still feeling pretty bullish. We also have Virtual Bacon here, interestingly enough, saying that right now is the last chance to buy altcoins in October, because this is normally one of the most bullish times in crypto, the last quarter of the 4-year cycle. In fact, Bitcoin has averaged 21% in October with only one red month in 10 years, guys. And we can see that the altcoin market cap normally has October chop, but November rally. So it's important to note that what he's saying here is not jumping directly into the market right now in this second. It's looking at October objectively according to the history and seeing that October normally has a lot of chop. So we may be down a little bit more, we may be up a little bit more, extreme volatility, but it may be one of the last chances to really get your hands on altcoins. That's why I have not closed out any large parts of my positions. I have been taking profits. I took some profits from Bitcoin as we hit a high yesterday, and I'll continue to do that from my trades because that's the strategy, but I'm keeping the majority of the trades open because I think that this crypto bubble chart is going to change, and it's going to change for the better, so I want to be exposed to the market. I'm putting my chips on the table, guys. The chips in the casino of crypto. There is no guarantees here. Everything might go to zero, but my research and my bullishness is what keeps me here. And so far, it's worked out. In 2017, I lost all my money. In 2021, I sold about 60% of my portfolio. And in this run, I plan to sell a lot more of my portfolio and bank even more gains, ready to move them into other assets like property, like the stock market, and to reinvest in the bear market. That could also be the wrong play, guys. I'm not telling you to follow me. I'm just telling you what my thoughts and my strategies are. Right now, we also have $1.3 trillion Morgan Stanley saying that Bitcoin is a scarce asset according to digital gold. Now, why am I bringing up a 1.3 trillion Morgan Stanley and talking about Bitcoin? Well, the liquidity generally flows from Bitcoin into the altcoins, and I think that XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, and a few of the larger caps are going to do the best, right? Especially the ones that have exposure to the American markets. Now, we also had something interesting here. Ripple partners with Swift, expanding XRP's reach to 11,000 banks. What's the TLDR, right? So the too lazy didn't read. Ripple's partnership with Thunes integrates XRP into Swift's global network of 11,000 banks. The SEC granted Ripple a no-action letter, allowing registered advisors and broker-dealers to hold XRP in institutional custody. The integration with Swift opens new liquidity pathways for Ripple, allowing access to traditional banking infrastructure. Ripple's move to connect XRP with Swift helps address scalability issues and boost global adoption. This regulatory approval removes key barriers for large institutions to adopt and securely store XRP. Ripple has made significant strides in expanding the XRP liquidity. The company's partner, Thunes, has integrated its pay-to-bank service with Swift's extensive network. So what this sounds like to me is XRP's partnered with Thunes, Thunes is partnered with Swift, and this gives the XRP Swift connection. This integration connects XRP to around 11,000 banks through Thunes, right? Opening new pathways for institutional adoption. Now, let's think about why Bitcoin has been on such a massive tear. Well, one of my opinions is that it's been on a massive tear because of the excitement around big institutions. This bull market, as I think you guys will agree, has been mostly spurred on by institutional excitement. We're talking about the ETFs. We're talking about MicroStrategy. We're talking about all the news of 401ks, retirement funds, all of this buying Bitcoin. So this whole institutional idea for this bull market is very prevalent right now, and I think that's why XRP stands such a good chance. I want to also remind you that right now, even though the market feels bearish for XRP, it is still up 4.5x from the lows. 500%-ish from those lows, guys. So we are still already up. Now, as I've said previously, I think it's possible that XRP goes as high as $10 to $12. That is my bull case. Maybe it doesn't get that high. Maybe it goes significantly higher. I can be wrong, but my plan is to be taking profits all the way up. First resistance, about $3.20. I might take a bit of profit. Second one, $3.37. And third one, the old all-time highs. I'll shave a little bit of profits on the way up from my trades, right? Not probably from my spot bag, but from my trades. And then as we move into price discovery, that's when I'm going to be starting to take more and more profits, moving down the risk curve, high leverage, lower leverage, and on the spot market. And I'm going to be talking to you guys exactly when I'm doing that, how I'm doing it, and all of my plans. So if you do want to have a place to trade, guys, there is a link to WEEX down there in the description, a 20% deposit reward up to 30,000 USDT. If you want to follow the affiliate link in the description, you can sign up to WEEX with your email address. They have over 6 million global users. It works perfectly for me, and they have over 1,000 cryptocurrencies to choose from. Please, of course, read the terms of service and do your own research. But if you want access to the bonus and WEEX as a potential new exchange to trade on, I'll leave the links down there in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.